Hey guys, welcome back to reading your comments for the third week. Wading through your comment. What the? I just started. Bob? Hi, Bob. Everybody who sees this, tweet Wade says hi, Bob. Because Bob decided to text me right at the start of the reading your comments video. Hi, Bob. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the first comment for week 3. Brilliant Tara says, "Welcome, Molly. I would love to see your face in Wade's videos more often. You seem really nice, respectful, open, and so happy, and that's awesome. I love when you keep holding up your kitty in the video. He, it's a boy, we think, is really cute. We know, he's a boy. He is a boy confirmed. Wade, I love the commitment you put into reading the packages and letters and responding the best way possible. You have amazing advice and great responses to the fan mail, and you are such a wonderful YouTuber. Cheers." Hide the label. Cheers! This is from earlier. I can't drink that right now. Molly and I might be doing some more videos together. We've thought about doing maybe some one-button games like I've done with Mark in the past, like soccer physics and such. 7 Days to Die is probably eventually going to come back, and she's going to join for that. And she'll probably be there for the mail videos that we do in the future, too. Our cat's a little brat. He likes to sleep in here and scare the crap out of me when I'm doing horror games. He likes to sleep on the cable box I've got in here. But yeah, he's cute whenever he sleeps and doesn't bother us. And yeah, I mean, I love to give you guys the commitment. If I'm gonna go and, have a fan base, the least I can do is, treat you guys with respect and care about what you have to say. I mean, you're the reason I do what I do, so I feel like I'm just giving you your just desserts by at least reading all the comments you send me and then replying to the ones that I can or the ones that I can fit into a video like this. So, thank you. Thank you for the kind words, Brilliant Tara. Our next comment is from Michaela? Is that Michaela? Michelangelolia? Michaela Schumann. I know I butchered your name. I am so sorry. I'm really bad at this. My name's so simple. Wade. 4 letters, 1 syllable. I'm a simple guy. Anyway, Michaela says, "Sometimes it feels like Wade is babysitting and it makes me really happy. I love when JP gets scared and calls for Wade." I guess equally they babysit me as much as I babysit them, because I remember whenever we were doing an episode recently and I didn't have a light, and JP had the lamp, and, "JP, come back, please, I can't see anything, JP!" And he had to come find me because I was just wandering in the dark. So we do an equal amount of babysitting, but yeah, I really enjoyed doing the Gmod Horrors with JP, and I love playing with Patrick and Gar and JP. I think we have a good dynamic there. And that's not to say that, I don't enjoy playing with Mark, Jack, and Bob, or D-Live, and N2N, or Baron, or any of those people either. I enjoy playing with pretty much everyone I do. It's just another group that I found that we have really good chemistry and play well together, so I'm really fortunate with all the people that I play with and get to play with online. I've met some amazing people, and I've gotten very lucky with meeting some top-of-the-line, fantastic personalities. Stutter. Demented13 writes, "Anyone know if Wade's still doing Dying Light, or is it on hiatus?" So Dying Light is one that I'm debating on continuing. I was having some fun with it. We were having fun playing it. It was JP, Patrick, and I. Or not JP. Patrick, Gar, and I. I was just talking about JP, so JP was on the brain. But JP was not in on that series, and I like having the 4 of us together as a dynamic. I like just having the 3 of us. I like just having 2 of us. I like any combination of the above. But I've had some time lately to get JP involved on the recording as well. And so we've been doing more of the Gary's Mod type videos. Patrick and I started doing Far Cry, etc., etc. So the Dying Light videos were getting some good views. There were a number of people that didn't seem to enjoy that as much as they've enjoyed some other series. So that's one I'm debating on continuing. I'd love your feedback. A lot of you are going to say, yes, we want more of that. But the truth of the matter is, I'm posting 2 videos a day, and pretty much every single day of the week there's a new video game that comes out. So I've got to try to figure out what series to make go for a long time. Like Gary's Mod's one that you guys have always seemed to enjoy different game modes of. So Gary's Mod's probably a game that I will continue to play. Some games I keep coming back to because I really enjoy them and they're easy to repeat, and you don't have to necessarily post 20 videos in a week for people to enjoy it. Like your Guns of Icarus's, Towns of Salem, stuff like that. Sometimes I'll play those games out of the blue just because I really enjoy them and you guys like seeing them, and they're a game that I can do a 1 video of here and then not play it for a while, so that way you guys are excited when the next one comes out. But games like Dying Light that are very plot heavy, where we're actually doing the missions, are ones that could go for like a 40 to 100 part series. And the only problem with that is that means that all the other games out there that I want to try, I really don't have a day of the week to give episodes to. So you guys want more You Touched It Last, you want more Prop Hunt, you want more Dying Light. I mean, I would love to give you guys 30 videos a day, but I just can't swing that. So there just comes to be a balance. And right now, Dying Light's on one that I'm debating on. So if you guys want more of it, feel free to comment on it, let me know, watch it, and I'll go back and look and I'll see if it's one that we should bring back or not. But it's not that I don't like the game or not having fun with it, it's just other games have been able to include all 4 of us, and still leaves me some room to wiggle around with fitting in other games as well. So hopefully that makes sense what I said there. I don't know if I spoke properly or not. Grammar, English, bad, Wade. Good talk. Sam Williams says, so sorry about your grandpa, Wade. It's tough. It's tough losing somebody. And now being an adult, it's even, I don't want to say it's even tougher, but when somebody in your family passes away and you're a kid, you confront the grief, and that's the end of it. I mean, it doesn't mean it's ever over. I still grieve for people that I've lost long time ago. But now as an adult, I was confronted with having to talk about like the things my grandpa owned, and there's an attorney sorting through whatever will he has written and things like that. Just stuff you don't want to think about. I don't want to think about what's going to happen to my grandpa's pairs of shoes, but those are things that just, as an adult, you also have to confront, and it just compounds it and makes it worse because you don't want to, I don't know, that's my grandpa's stuff, that's his house, that's his stuff. It's not something I want to think about having to donate or sell or sort through and keep or give out to other families. It's just not something I want to deal with. And it's an awful thing that adults have to deal with, is whenever you lose somebody, you don't just lose them, but then all of a sudden you're confronted with the materialistic and financial concerns of that person as well. And thankfully I'm not the only one. My other family members are helping sort all through this stuff. It's not just me. It's my cousin and brother and some other family members and stuff too. We've all lost somebody, but it's just hard to try to grieve and then have an attorney contact you and be like, so what do you want to do about these 12 pairs of shoes we found? I don't know. It's not fun. It's just not fun. I miss them a lot, and I think whenever somebody passes away, we can always think of things that we regret or wish we could change, but it is what it is, and I'm dealing with it and moving on. So I appreciate all you guys for that. Thank you, Sam. Bethany Nottingham writes, is JP related to you? How did you start playing games with him? JP and I are not related, believe it or not. We actually met playing on the Vox Populi Minecraft server. 2 years ago? It had to be. We played 7 Days to Die in Rust way back when, soon after I first launched my channel. And we actually met, I was building a cathedral on the, I guess it's called the Diamond server now, but back then it was the only Minecraft server that Zombie Mold and Latin Goddess had. But I was building a cathedral that was a semi-replica of Notre Dame, and he was just standing there watching me build it kind of creepily, but he wasn't like in my face trying to help or trying to get in the way or sabotage me or anything. He was just, sitting there quietly watching, not saying anything, just appreciating the view of me screwing up time and time again. And it was kind of nice, just having someone there to watch and not necessarily getting in my face all the time, trying to get my attention, just letting me do my thing. Because I used to love to build on Minecraft, I still do. So being able to focus, I appreciated that, and I thanked him for it. And he's like, oh, no problem. If you ever need anything, let me know. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. And one time I actually ended up needing redstone. I needed something, and he offered to go get it and showed back up, gave it to me, didn't ask for anything in return, didn't ask, he was just enjoying watching. And so I started chatting with him and got to know him. He became a staff member on the server and was a good guy. We started playing games together for fun, and then, recording, and just had a lot of fun. And now he's a good friend of mine. And it's strange because he's so much younger than I am. I'm 26, and I think he's about to turn 18 here in a few months or something. And there's a giant age difference, but we just have a lot of fun playing games together. We're good friends, and age isn't a barrier for friendship. So it's pretty cool. It's a cool friendship we have, and he's been a good friend for a long time. So I'm happy to see his YouTube channel having success, and I'm glad to be playing games with the guy. Good question, Bethany. Energizer61 Bunny says, just one question for JP and Wade. Why the heck y'all dying? Why you always dying? That was my best. My best won't do. Somehow you guys need to make a man out of me. That was a terrible Mulan reference. Anyway, well, one, because we constantly thwart and attack and murder each other. Two, we are entertainers first and foremost, and game players 10th on the list of talent things. I'm not bad at video games, contrary to what you guys might see whenever I post them, but I'm a one-track mind kind of person to where if I'm try-harding on a game, there is not commentary, there is not silly faces, I'm just... So whenever I play and try to talk while I play, I, like to joke around and make light of things, and not for horror games necessarily. Horror games are a little bit easier because I talk to myself anyway, because I'm terrified and I hate horror games. I really play them because you guys enjoy seeing me scream and freak out, and I enjoy seeing me scream and freak out after the fact. But whenever I'm playing a lot of games, I'm, more focused on having fun than I am about being good at it. It's not to say I'm being fake, it's just I'm focused more on having a laugh with my friends than I am on being that, tier 1 sniper or something. Like, I used to play Call of Duty way back in the day, and I had like my 2.6 kill death ratio I was so proud of, and this and that, and I don't play games like that to be the best anymore or anything. I usually just play to have a good time, so that's why we're always dying. Please believe me. We're not that bad. Yes, we are. Daniel Quiroz says, I hope I said your name correctly. Hello, Wade. Just saw Twitter and I'm sorry for your loss. It's not easy losing someone important in your life, but what Walt Disney always said is keep moving forward. And that's the right mindset. It's not easy to do, but I lost my dad when I was 11 years old. 5 years later, I lost my grandma, who was one of the most important people in my life and still does to this day, a void I will never fill. My mom and my aunt, my siblings, I still have a lot of family left, but I've lost a lot of people. There's probably been 20 to 30 funerals I've been to in the last 15 years, and most of them were between the years 2000 and 2008. I've got no grandparents left at this point. I've had some rough breakups in the past. I've not had my life's not been a bad one. I've had a good life, but I have dealt with a lot of loss. Not as much as some. A lot more than others, it is what it is. I'm not trying to compete with anybody. But at some point along the line, I developed the mindset that I've dealt with this before. And there are a lot of new people in my life now that I didn't have before. I've made a lot of new friends thanks to doing YouTube and different things in my life. And I can never replace the people I've lost, but I also appreciate the new people that are part of my life now. And you have to understand that loss is a natural part of life, and sometimes it's hard to move past something, but I'm here. I'm smiling and laughing and joking with you guys, reading your comments right now, and I've survived everything that I've been through so far, and I feel like I've come out stronger because of it. And even though at the time of loss, sometimes we feel like there is no future, everything's going to end right then and there because of what we just had taken from us, the truth of the matter is, we have the power to have that mindset to say, no, that will not hold me down. My dad, my grandma, my grandpa, cousins, uncles, friends, so many people that I've lost, they wouldn't want to see their deaths keep me from living my own life. And for my sake, for their sake, and for the sake of everyone else in my life and you guys, we have to keep moving forward. It's just something we have to do. I've got to set my alarm and go to school in the morning. There's just certain things in life you have to do. And dealing with loss is one of those things. But we have to be able to separate that depression, that sadness, and look at the positive side and say, I'm not going to let that stuff weigh me down. I've got too much else that I want to do. This is my one shot here on this planet, unless you believe in reincarnation. And I want to make the most of it. So... I've gone up there and had to talk. When my grandpa and grandma passed away both times, I went up there and talked in front of my family, trying to hold back tears. With my grandma, I utterly failed. With my grandpa, I struggled, but I managed to at least say coherent words. And my grandpa was always the guy at a funeral who would stand in the back kind of trying to cheer people up. He would give them a hug and tell them a joke and laugh and smile at you, and by the time you were done talking to him, you'd be feeling better. And that's not to say he wasn't grieving as well, but he understood that you can't let the grief overwhelm you forever. You have to be able to understand that, you were lucky to have that person in your life, but you still got to move on and live your life. And that's a mindset I've tried to adapt to. So anyway, I've said enough there, but thank you, Daniel. That's great advice because it's true. You've got to keep moving forward in life. Michael Christopher says, "Hey Wade, do you sexually identify yourself as an attack helicopter?" Sure. As the great one word Tyler would say, sure. Why not? I look forward to your fan art. Whirl, whirl, whirl. Those are my helicopter blades. Not like one of those little hats, but we'll just move on. Sam Cron says, "Wade, has anyone ever told you that you look like Aaron, I think you mean look like Aaron Rodgers? I don't know if it's just me, but you look a lot like him." Aaron Rodgers is an NFL quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, who was drafted, I think, back in like 2007 and sat behind Brett Favre for a few years. And now he's seen as like the best quarterback in the NFL. For those of you that didn't know, I know a little bit about football. I think it was 2007. I'm probably wrong. I look like a complete idiot, but hey, being a complete idiot is kind of what I do for a living. So there you go. But in any case, no, I have never been told I look like Aaron Rodgers. I wish my paycheck looked like Aaron Rodgers' paycheck. Am I right? Am I right? Just kidding. Not really, but just kidding. But no, that's something I've never heard before. I've been told Shia LaBeouf. I've been told some interesting characters in the past, but I don't believe Aaron Rodgers has ever been one of them. But thank you. Aaron Rodgers is a decent looking guy. I'll take that as a compliment. Blender Guy 15 says, "The fact that Wade knows the mathematical terms for the symbols fills me with determination." This was, I believe, on a Gmod horror video. And yes, believe it or not, back in the day, I was a 4.0 high school student, and I had like a 3.973 in college or something, which meant a lot to me at the time. But once I graduated, those numbers kind of lost meaning a bit because life goes on past school. But no, I was a very hard worker and a pretty good student back in the day. I didn't have to study much. I always did my homework, and I usually aced tests and papers and things like that. I was a good student. I took calculus, and then in college I took like calc-based physics, even though I didn't have to, just because I wanted to challenge myself a bit. So I was a good little nerdy school student once back in the day, and I remember integrals and derivatives and all that kind of stuff. So every now and then the smart comes back and leaks through the stupid that is my outer shell. Did I just call myself a stupid face or a stupid head? I think I did. Well, I said it. Must be true. Patrick Static says, "But there was a boat." I don't think he's Scooby-Doo, but that was kind of the voice I gave you. Sorry, Patrick. All I can say, man, is I posted my evidence, and there was no boat. You were bunny hopping around like a flippin' monkey. This is on Far Cry 4, for those of you that are curious. Far Cry 4 Episode 1, where Patrick claimed to steal a boat from a couple, and then drove around murdering me with it, whilst all I could see was a couple people chilling in the water. So maybe if you go check out Patrick's perspective, you can see if he's telling the truth. But if you see my perspective, you'll know there was no boat. Ben Earhart says, "You're the best, Wade." I know, Ben. Nah, I'm just kidding. I tried really hard to sell that off as being a complete egotistical jerk there, but I appreciate you guys saying stuff like that, but really, I'm just glad you enjoy the content I put out there. I mean, I play games by myself or with friends, just as myself, screaming like an idiot like I do in real life. If you were to know me in real life like you know me on YouTube, it'd be hard to tell a difference. I'm usually pretty high energy, I tell terrible jokes, I make loud noises, I never shut up, and I'm very random and weird. And that comes through on YouTube, and you guys, for some weird reason, seem to like it, and you keep watching, so I appreciate it. Saying I'm the best is a nice compliment. I don't know if that's necessarily true, because like I said, every YouTuber is the best at being them. And I guess I appreciate this, and I'll take this as I'm the best at being myself. And because that's all I do, is I just try to be myself. So thank you, Ben. I'm really not as egotistical as I tried to pull myself off as being there, but I mean, I've got this posted on my wall all the time, so I can just look and see Ben Hurt says I'm the best. Viper's Bane Games R Us, or RUS, says, "Wade, the radio makes it hard to hear you. Can you maybe turn the volume down?" Yes, I am trying my best to work on balancing some volume lately. My microphone, as you can probably see it a little bit here unless it's cropped out, I'm trying to move a little bit closer because as it gets further from me, it's quieter and harder to hear me, and it's hard to boost it much. So I'm trying to work on getting my volume up a little bit louder and toning down gameplay volume a little bit more. Sometimes I forget that audio balancing changes in a game. Sometimes games are quiet whenever I'm first setting up audio, and then there'll be a really loud point later on, and I completely don't take that into account sometimes whenever I'm adjusting volume whenever I'm recording a game. And, you know, post-edit for a single-player game, that's easier to fix, but when I'm recording Garry's Mod or Dying Light or something with a group of people, and I don't remember to turn down game volume, I'm very limited in what I can do to adjust the volume at that point because my friend's audio is intermixed with the game audio. I don't use DxTory, so they're not all separate files, they're all on one file, which makes it a little bit more challenging. So I'm trying to work on remembering to balance game volume a little bit more. I apologize for that. Also, what is your take on people watching these videos to the point where it's addicting? I know one or two people that this is all they do is watch YouTube. They are really hard workers, so what's your take on it? I mean, I really appreciate people watching my videos. People that watch my videos all the time, you know, are the reason I've managed to make this a living. But that being said, when you throw out the term addiction, that's when it's probably gone too far. I don't want anybody to have an addiction to my stuff. Enjoying watching it is fine. Watching a lot of it is definitely fine. But if it's interfering with, you know, your life, your work, your schoolwork, your relationships and things like that, then I don't want it to get to that point. My goal as an entertainer is to be there for you guys when you have time for me, not for you guys to sacrifice, you know, your own life to live watching me joke around with people. It's really important that you guys find a balance. And as much as I want to tell you guys to watch 1,000 videos a day on my channel to, you know, help me out, I would much rather you guys watch when you can to the point that it's not interfering with your outside lives. Because your friends, family, schoolwork, your jobs, etc. should always come before, you know, entertainment. And it's very easy for us to find ways to distract ourselves throughout the day and procrastinate. I'm a great procrastinator. But we have to find that balance in life. So don't let watching YouTube, don't let that addiction take away your chance at making a good future for yourselves or a good present time for yourselves. So that's my take on it. Thank you, Vipers. The little Jewish boy. God, South Park. I can't laugh at your name too much because it is a South Park reference. They very much, you know, like to make fun of him for that, but what can you do? Sorry, Kyle. Says, Wade, you're awesome at what you do, buddy. Again, just like with Ben, I just play games and I say what comes to mind. I don't have anything pre-scripted. I don't go and plan things out. Every now and then I'll do some spontaneous role play where I'm, you know, working at the bowling alley, for example, in TTT or something, but none of that stuff's ever like planned out. I don't ever get a group together and say, all right, we're gonna say this at 2 minutes, you're gonna read this line. Like we play games, goof off, murder each other, screw around, get a good laugh out of things, and you guys just happen to really enjoy listening to that. So I'm glad you enjoy it, but really you're just enjoying, I guess, my chemistry with other people and then my content, just me as a person. So thank you, but I don't know. I guess I don't always feel like I deserve these compliments. I don't know. Alyssa Jenkins says, you never want to play a game with Wade or D-Live because basically they'll just get you killed. I can't argue with that. That's pretty smart logic there, Alyssa. Smart logic. Good. Accurate. Sorry, Patrick. But I did kind of get Patrick wrecked a whole lot in Far Cry, haven't I? Yeah. But D-Live gets me wrecked a lot in games too. Like Little Big Planet 300 and Left 4 Dead, where he doesn't help me or shoots me. Can't argue. Good comment, Alyssa. Fiara the Tank Girl, I believe I read one of your comments before on here, Fiara. You're good at getting on the comments videos. Writes, C4. So many friendships ruined. Once again, sorry Patrick, but yes, I have a lot of fun with the explosives on Far Cry. Not a bad thing. Patrick knew what he was signing up for. That's on him. I Heart the Panda says, all I can really say is thank you so much for making me laugh so hard. Best procrastination decision in this final season by far. I saw your post on Twitter and I hope everything is alright. Regardless, know we are all here for you. Thanks again for always making me smile. I do my best, now that Dave's helping me edit videos, I do my best to try to get 2 videos a day when I can. I try to record some stuff in advance, so that way in case something like what happened last week with my grandpa ever comes up, I've got stuff recorded in case of emergency. That being said, I don't sit on videos for like months at a time, so usually whatever you see has been recorded that week. But sometimes like the Far Cry videos or the Gmod sessions or Dying Light, stuff like that, we record all in one sitting and it takes a while to post it all. But you know, I do my best to get you guys content because I know what it's like to be on the other side and need something to watch to help me get through stress. Molly and I have been watching a lot of Uber Hacks or Nova stuff lately. James, I actually have the pleasure of knowing James. I've gotten to work with him in the past, but I absolutely love his content. He makes me laugh. So Molly and I have gotten to really enjoy watching some of that stuff together. So I understand the power of YouTube, and it's hard to believe that I have that same kind of influence on you guys as some other YouTubers have on me, but you tell me I do, so I believe you. So you're welcome, but also, you know, thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to do what I do. And thank you guys for being understanding and being there for me through the hard times that I've gone through several this year, and I'm sure you guys have too. And I try to have my content there for you, and you guys are there for me. And we have a wonderful community, and I hope we never lose that. That's important to me. Olivia Gibson says, "This is my comment. Hear me roar." Actually, this entire comment is, "This is my comment. Hear me roar." Now you roar. Rawr. You're welcome. It's kind of like, you ever play The Lion King, like the old Lion King on Sega, where when you're the little lion, you go, rawr, and then you grow up and you're like Big Simba and you have like that powerful roar. I'm the little Simba. Rawr. Wade, what is your best pickup line, writes Richard Shepard. Rawr. I don't use pickup lines. Even jokingly, I can't bring myself to actually use a pickup line. Like, I don't know, what would I say? "Excuse me, madam, would you like to participate in the sex?" I don't know. I don't even know any pickup lines. "It hurt, baby, when you fell from heaven, 'cause you an angel," or something. I don't even know what grammar that was supposed to be or what accent that was. That was just terrible. What other ones are there? "I'm rubber, you're glue. Wanna make paper stick together?" I don't think that was right at all. That was the what bounces off me sticks. Thanks, Richard. We're just gonna move on before I say something even more awkward and weird and wrong. Mario BW says, "Wade, just so you know, it isn't just the ball that explodes on You Touched It Last. The one who threw it also explodes. You may already know this by now, but just thought I'd put that out there." I don't know if I knew that at the time of you writing this comment, but we did eventually figure that out, because whenever we were playing You Touched It Last and we see the ball get thrown, we know we still better get away from whoever threw that thing, because it's an explosive game and a lot of fun. So thank you, Mario for the advice, but eventually us dumbheads were able to figure it out. Daniel Flores? No clue if I said either of those names right, because I don't know what the double dots over the E means. While I may know some mathematical symbols, my knowledge of accents on letters is far more limited. But they writes, or Danielle, I'm not sure. Sorry, don't want to offend you. "I really hope you will make more of these." This is on my compilation video recently. And actually, I can't even take credit for it. Day picked out the clips and put it together, and I watched it and had a good laugh from it. But I mean, 100% credit goes to Day, Schiflight, SCHIIFLIGHT. You'll see her comment on some of these. She gets all of the credit for making that. I may have provided the yells and screams, but she put the clips together and threw on the subtitles and everything else, and I was very impressed with her work. But I'm hoping she makes more. I had a blast watching it too. But especially the ones that feature older horror games you've played and newer ones too, in a mix. That would be so funny. Thanks for the last one. I really hope you'll continue to do this for a long time. Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Like I said, Day gets all the credit for that. We talked about which games to include in the first one, and we're going to figure it out and hopefully do some more of those over time. I don't know how often we'll release them. Maybe 1 or 2 a month, maybe, like highlights from different games. We'll see. They take a lot of work. I know whenever I made the Outlast reaction compilation, it took me a good 20 to 24 hours of physically sitting there working on it to make it so I could release it. And that's just sitting there picking out clips, trimming them down, getting the subtitles, finding other pictures to throw in, making the images do what I wanted them to. Now, granted, I'm not the best editor in the world. There's a reason I have Day helping me edit now. But they take a lot of work. And so it takes a lot of time to find enough clips, 1, to throw in there, and 2, to sit there and actually make it. So hopefully we can do more of them. I'm glad you guys really enjoyed that. It seems like you did. There were a lot of comments, a lot of likes, very few dislikes, a lot of views on that, which told me that you guys probably went back and watched it several times and you really liked that. So, yeah. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching. But yeah, all credit goes to Day. Striker Russell says, "Lols, Wade, you are the jumpiest dude." I am a jumpy guy. People are like, "God, another one of those guys who has fake reactions." I don't have fake reactions. I'm a big baby. I wish that I was talented enough to fake my reactions or something, but I'm not. There's a reason I always say like the same 3 words. "Oh God, God, ah, God." Like that's all I say whenever I get scared, it seems like, whenever I'm watching later on. But no, I do not ever want to go into haunted houses or haunted places or things. Those creep me out. Gmod horror, you know, the jump scares get me, but for the most part, having another person there helps with that. But playing a horror game solo, watching a scary movie, or going to a haunted place, I'm really, like, if it weren't for you guys enjoying it, I probably wouldn't do it, because I really am a big baby when it comes to being scared. It's not my cup of tea. I know Mark and D-Live both talk about how they enjoy horror games. I would have never played a horror game ever if it wasn't for doing YouTube. I tell people all the time, this is a true story. When I was playing Outlast, I could only record 1 episode per sitting, and then I had to leave. I had to stop for a while, and I had to turn on the lights and go watch something funny, because it really just, it gave me the chills and the creeps, and I couldn't bring myself to sit there more than 15 to 20 minutes at a time without feeling like a big baby. So I am really jumpy because I'm very uncomfortable playing something that's scary. And that's just an honest, 100% honest fact. Brandon Togan says, "I feel like an ass for hysterically laughing at Wade for freaking out over packing peanuts." I understand the entertainment value, but I really don't like styrofoam. I can't pull apart cotton balls, I hate styrofoam, and the sound of like a fork and knife scraping on a plate. Those 3 things drive me insane. I mean, even more so than I was just talking about being scared in a horror game, even more so than horror games. That's not fake. I really cannot stand that. When I was a kid, I used to get toys that came in like, you know, those boxes with styrofoam packing. I would have to leave and go to my room and have somebody else unpack the box to get the styrofoam away. My dad was the same way, my brother's the same way. There's just something about the sound of styrofoam. My friend once told me, I've got goosebumps right now, not lying. But my friend told me, when he was young, he used to chew on styrofoam packing peanuts, and the thought of that sound in my mouth made me almost want to hurl. So yeah, that's a legit thing with me, and it's a weird thing that people find hilarious, but it is not fun being on the receiving end of that noise for me at all. Ugh. Thanks, Brandon. I really needed those goosebumps right now. I'm freezing. Okay. Richard Donaldson says, "Condom challenge." Well, this has been fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. Oh God, why? Molly opened my door and brought Brandon a present. Sorry about your eardrums, everybody. Richard Donaldson, I don't know what the condom challenge is. It sounds like a 99.9% chance of being safe, but there's always that 0.1% chance that it won't work. That was a condom reference joke, as far as their effectiveness, haha. Okay. Just trying to get the sound of that. Okay. Thank you, Richard, for that input. Yeah, we're probably gonna end the comments video there, because I'm at a loss for words. Condom challenge and packing peanuts. This is a terrible vacation. Family Guy reference. So thank you guys so much for watching. This has been the 3rd reading your comments video. I will never include a reading your comments video talking about styrofoam again if I can help it. That way I don't ever have to. These aren't even like real styrofoam. These are like little foam things, but they still. they still make that noise when you touch them, and when they touch each. Oh god, when they rub against each other. Oh. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for a mail video next week and another reading your comments 2 weeks from today. I will go back to this video and everyone posted after, and I will look through these comments and we will pick out the ones that we can for the next reading your comments video. Stay tuned for whatever comes next. I'm gonna go get out of the house for a while, make Molly clean up my office. Until next time, see ya guys. Oh god. Jesus, I can't even clean it up. Molly, you gotta clean this crap up. Oh, I didn't cut.